I.S.U.P.K.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks and native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher.
And what we do, we teach these people on this sign, these people right here, that they are God's true and only chosen people. And with being God's true and only chosen people comes with a set of responsibilities. And those responsibilities are to follow the law. And what does that law do? That law teaches us to love each other, to take care of each other. And the only way that we can do that is by separating from our enemies. Our enemies, they are poisoning us. You know what I'm saying? They are destroying us. They are killing us. If you look into the society, if you're looking on the news, man, you can see all our enemies coming up against us, mass shooting us. You know what I'm saying? And it's very simple. You know what I'm saying? The Lord told his people, these 12 tribes right here, to separate from our enemies. Yes, segregation. You know what I'm saying? It's a righteous and beautiful thing. Segregation is of the Lord. It is not of God to integrate. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King was teaching blacks, Hispanics, people a lie. He was feeding us into a trap. You know what I'm saying? Integration is destroying black people. You know what I'm saying? You ready for that? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
We are a holy people. If you look into a Bible dictionary, you will understand that the word holy does not mean anything spooky, does not mean anything extra ghost-like or nothing. No. The word holy literally means set apart, separate, segregation. The Lord said we are a holy people. We are a separate people. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God.
We are a separate people unto the Lord thy God. He has chosen us. We are special unto him. You know what I'm saying? He chose us. Separation. You know what I'm saying? It does not say integration. It does not say hold hands and join together. No, it says we are a holy people unto God. Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Like I was saying before, we are a special people unto God. Why do you think we are supreme and better than everybody else? Have you ever seen an African Julio Cesar Chavez? How about an African Mike Tyson? Have you seen a African what's that gymnast? Gabby Jones or Wilson? Oh, Gabby Douglas. Have you ever seen an African Gabby Douglas? How about a white Gabby Douglas? No, you have not. Know why? Because they are not special unto God. They don't have anything that makes them superior or better than us. If you look at all stats, from physical to mental, we are better than them in every stat you can think of. You know the biggest college graduate group demographic is black women? Black women are graduating more than any demographic through college. You know what I'm saying? Read.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people.
Equal.
Above all people.
God said we are a special people above all people. We are above Black, Hispanic, and Native people. We are literally above all people. We are superior to all people. These are not my words. This is God saying that. God said we are better than every other race on this planet. But But why don't you feel that way? Why don't you feel that you're superior? You know why you don't feel that way? Because the Christian church is destroying you. Our so-called leaders in the Christian church, God is believing that we are equal to somebody that God said that we are above. You know what I'm saying? This weekend, y'all going to be out there in Franklin Park grilling it up, celebrating a so-called independence, right? But guess who else is going to be up in Franklin Park celebrating that so-called independence with you? Our oppressors. There's going to be a lot of politicians in Franklin Park trying to convince you to vote for them, and guess what? You invited them to the cookout. Look, the I.S.U.P.K, we have cookouts all year. We have cookouts all across this country. We don't invite our enemies to no cookout. They can't even enter. Know why? Because there's safety there. There's safety with them not being around us. Don't be surprised if there's a mass shooting at one of these cookouts this weekend throughout this country. Don't be surprised because you're inviting your enemy into the cookout. Just like Dylan Storm Roof was invited into the church. Dylan Storm Roof was invited into that black church. And what did Dylan Storm Roof do? What did Dylan Storm Roof do to all those people in that church? Killed them. Killed them. That Buffalo shooter, he felt very welcome in that community. He was having conversations with people the day before, conversations about race. He felt very comfortable up in there. He was invited. He felt comfortable. And look what he did. Killed all those people like he was playing Call of Duty. Let me tell you something. Those people that you call so-called allies are actually devils. They are our enemies. We have no allies. Black, Hispanic, and natives, we are our only allies. We are our only allies. Those people that you see marching during those marches, they don't care about you. That's why they started all those riots. That's why they started the looting. It wasn't us. You know, Proverbs 11 and 21. It wasn't us that started all those lootings. You know what I'm saying? It was them. See, if we kept them away from us and out of our business, guess what? We probably have bigger solutions. We're probably better off than what we are. Because if you look at history, when they were out of our business, we thrived. If you look at history, when there was no Caucasians, when there were no Arabs, when everybody was out of our business, we were growing. Read.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand.
Though hand join in hand, but you out there holding hands with your enemies, protesting, trying to get these gun laws changed, guess what? Nothing's going to happen. Those gun laws ain't going to fix nothing. And what gun law is going to stop a criminal from getting a gun? And what's going to stop that criminal, that racist, from pointing those guns at black, Hispanic, and native children? Nothing. Nothing's going to stop them. You know what I'm saying? Start that from the top up.
Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
The wicked shall not be unpunished. You know what I'm saying? And you holding on to their hands, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? You're going to get punished with them. You invited them into that cookout, guess what? You're going to get punished with them. You know what I'm saying? That is the curses that is upon us. We need to stop holding hands with our enemies. We need to stop showing them all types of love. We need to separate from all the other people that hate us. All they do is suck us dry. Look throughout history. No, you don't even have to look through history. Look in your neighborhoods today. They are in our community sucking us dry. You know what I'm saying? In California not too long ago, an Armenian was being racist to the Mexican brothers and sisters. An Armenian was kicking out Mexicans, talking about they cannot come in, this is not a Mexican hangout. Even though the majority of his customers are Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hates black and Hispanic people. Asians hate us. So-called Caucasians hate us. Everybody hates us. That's why we got to join together. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got to separate from them. Plain and simple. Once we separate, once we segregate, we become stronger as a nation. we start to depend and love each other more. We won't have to worry about us selling drugs to each other. We won't have to worry about us killing each other. We won't have to worry about our women sleeping with our brothers. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about that because we would love each other. You know what I'm saying? Drop that, get First Ezra 18:85. We would love each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the law dictates. What do you think the law is about? What do you think the definition of love is in the Bible? The word love just means following the law. You can't love each other while you're breaking the law. A brother cannot love another brother while he's sleeping with his woman. A brother cannot love another brother while he's selling them cigarettes and drugs and all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got that up? Read.
First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 85.
And you know what? And America cannot love us while they continue to murder us and refuse to give us justice.
Right.
But you know what they'll do? They'll turn around and say, oh, but we made Juneteenth a federal holiday. As if that accounts to every body that y'all have dropped. As if that accounts to Tamir Rice, to the little boy that you murdered. You understand? Tamir Rice's body was on ice for over a year. And then they billed his mother for every time that they had to keep that body before they put it in the ground. Who paid that bill? Why ain't nobody come together? Where's the rich of our people taking care of each other? They murdered Sandra Bland in that jail cell. They choked Eric Garner to death. But it's okay. They gave you Juneteenth. They gave you a holiday. They gave us a day when we can go and have a cookout. Because that's all we really care about. All we really care about is barbecuing and grilling and the mac and cheese on Thanksgiving when we don't give a damn about real justice. Because we got too comfortable inside of America. Because Moneybag Joe gave you a stimulus check. You understand? Because they gave you WIC for your baby, but there's no Similac on the damn shelves right now. Give me Jeremiah 8 and 11. That they turn around and they give us pseudo celebrations instead of real justice. Last week was the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And every Puerto Rican drove up and down with that flag everywhere, but we're not no goddamn rich port. Spanish wasn't our language. That's the language of the conquistador. That's the language of the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
That's right.
That's our oppressor. We're not supposed to be turning around and joining them and celebrating in the identities that they gave us. That's not how this works. Do y'all even know what the hell the Emancipation Proclamation was? It's okay. Juneteenth is here, everybody. We got justice. It's a federal holiday now. Congratulations. We made it. And then they put another brother or sister in a headlock and they die, murdered at the hands of the people that are supposed to be sworn to protect. Read what you got.
Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 11. For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people silently.
You understand? Slightly. Slightly they healed the hurt of the daughter of my people. We gave you a holiday. We gave you a day when you can barbecue and grill. We gave you a day where you ain't got to go in and work for massa now. Congratulations. But then the next day, you go right back to oppression. Then the next day, we go right back to work. We go right back and work for the same people who call us niggas, spicks, and wetbacks as soon as they clock out. As soon as you leave in front of their face on the job. They heal the hurt of the daughter of our people slightly. Go ahead.
Saying, peace, peace.
That's what they say. They say peace, peace. But guess what?
When there is no peace,
there is no peace. There's no peace anywhere on the planet right now. Y'all say peace, peace. Meanwhile, boom, they just blew up a hospital in Ukraine. Peace, peace. Ain't no peace in this earth. They say peace, peace when it comes to us. And then they murder us. They plant evidence on on us. You understand? There's a lot of videos I can't watch. I still can't watch that docu-series on the Central Park 5. I'll lose my mind. I still ain't watched the video with George Floyd. I will lose my mind. You think I could watch that and then look a white man in the eyes?
I know.
You think I could watch them kneel on a black man's neck for 9 minutes?
I'll be annoyed.
Get the hell out of here, man. I still hear Eric Garner saying, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And then you want to come over here and argue with me who the devil is?
Right.
Y'all are monsters.
Right.
White people are the creatures from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
You understand? You are Freddy Krueger. You are everybody's nightmare. You are Jason Voorhees, a murderer, a mass murderer in the earth. And you know what? Y'all get justice. Let me tell you something. When the Boston bomber came, y'all got justice. One of them's going to death row, the other one's already dead. And you know what? I applaud you. I applaud y'all for getting justice. Because if somebody sets off bombs at your marathon, they should be persecuted. But you know what the problem is? Y'all are walking around right now, and y'all are thinking that y'all are innocent. When meanwhile, downtown Crossing is built on the bones of the North American Indians. You understand? Meanwhile, y'all walking over an Indian burial ground right now. Meanwhile, y'all have oppressed America. You understand? The real America. The real America was the Indians, man. Was the North American Indians, the Gadites, according to the Bible. And you murdered 77 million of them. And then have the audacity to celebrate Thanksgiving. You got the audacity to celebrate like it was peace between the Pilgrims and the Indians. Like Squanto sat down and there was this big peaceable, you understand, feast. When you know what it really was? They went out and they hunted the North American Indians. And they murdered men, women, and children. And then they had a feast. And they gave thanks that they killed the Indian, but they saved the man. The Pilgrims were the damn devil, man. The Quakers were the damn devil, man.
Right.
And so was everybody from the American Revolution. These were slave masters. Well, y'all thought George Washington was a good man? You know what they told you? They told you George Washington couldn't tell a lie because he chopped down his father's cherry tree. They told you that his teeth were made of wood. Well, guess what? George Washington's teeth were not made from wood. They were plucked from the head of the slaves to make his dentures. That's where they came from. Y'all want to know American history? I'll give you American history right now. They say peace, peace, when there is no peace. Yo, how many of you know, because we're in Boston, right? This is Boston, Massachusetts. So let me ask you a little bit of history about Boston. Who was the first casualty of the American Revolution? Anybody know? I see. So the sons and descendants of the slaves and people that were colonized got to educate y'all. The Boston Massacre happened how many blocks away from here, man? How many blocks away? Like 4 blocks, right? Just about 3-4 blocks that way. Who was the first casualty of the Boston Massacre? A black man named Crispus Attucks. And Crispus Attucks was a slave who got his freedom. And he came to the Boston Harbor. And he worked out here. And on a long enough timeline, he heard of a revolution that was happening. And he wanted to join the Sons of Liberty. Where, let me hip y'all to something. If Britain would have won the American Revolution, all those cats would have been hanged for treason. They would have been thugs and rebel rousers. You understand me? Like, the history books never turn around when the white man dressed up like Indians that they conquered and threw tea into the harbor. And the history books don't turn around and say, well, why are they destroying their own tea? But we riot and they say, why are you destroying your own neighborhood? Because we know damn well this ain't belong to us. Y'all profit off the neighborhood the same way Britain was profiting off the tea. And you saw the fight that the native Indians put up against you. So you dressed like them. You know what that's like? That's like when the white man chants, build the wall, to the Mexicans he stole the land from, and then puts on a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo and eats tacos. When y'all hate the Mexicans. You call them rapists and drug dealers. You know who was a drug dealer? The CIA. George Bush was a drug dealer. You understand? Nancy Reagan was a trap queen. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about the truth? But let's talk about the real history here. Crispus Attucks was the first casualty of the American Revolution. And Crispus Attucks was a black man who died at the Boston Massacre. And then guess what? They went to trial. And they came. And they arrested the soldiers that opened fire. And a trial was held. John Adams was involved, all the founding fathers that are buried 4 blocks away. And guess what? What do you think the verdict was for the British soldiers who murdered a black man that day? What do you think the verdict was? Anybody know? Take a guess. Not, give that sister a hand. Not guilty. And you know what? That's why Detective Pantaleo, who choked Eric Garner, was not guilty. You understand? That's why Darren Wilson, who murdered Mike Brown, was not guilty. Because since America's inception, when they fought the American Revolution, Crispus Attucks' verdict was not guilty for murdering him. Because America cannot be great without oppressing black and Hispanics. There cannot be Disney World without 2 million black men in the prison system. Because, I don't know if y'all know, slavery was only ratified under the clause that you did not commit a crime. But if you commit a crime, you're able to be put in slavery. How many of y'all seen the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? So if y'all notice, when they got arrested, where did they put them? On a farm that was an ex-plantation. And then what did they do? Work for massa, for free, because they were imprisoned. So when war wasn't fueling the American economy, now they realized prison labor can. So what do you think happened now in the late 60s and the 70s? Heroin flooded the ghetto. Heroin coming from Vietnam on military planes because your government is the #1 drug dealer. And now after the heroin comes in, guess what happens next? The war on drugs. So now America's prison population turns into what? 300,000. That was the prison population after Reagan got in office. And they said, this is the war on drugs. Now fast forward 20 years later to around 1996, right? John Ehrlichman was Reagan's advisor. And he did an interview in 96. And 20 years after that, the Freedom of Information Act, guess what it released? In 2016, they released John Ehrlichman's interview where he said the war on drugs was a war on black and Hispanics. They said we couldn't make it illegal to be against the war. And we couldn't make it illegal to be black or Hispanic. So you know what we did? We associated the hippies with weed. And then then we associated the ghetto with heroin. Now we were able to destroy everything. Read that scripture from the top, 8 and 11.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 8, verse 11. For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace.
We're going to come and get all these drugs off the street. Meanwhile, they locking up black men to the tune of 2 million. They turned around and they made the 3-strike law in the 90s. But before the 3-strike law, they made the Anti-Drug Act of 1985, where if you got caught with just a little bit of crack cocaine, you were doing 10 to 15 years minimum mandatory sentencing. And now you are in the privatization of the prison system. So now guess what? You can go and work for AT&T for less than $1 a day. You can go and start sewing military uniforms for less than $1 a day. And then the 3-strike law comes, and you finally get out after 15 years. But you got 2 felonies because you were young, you wanted to make money, but you didn't want to be a slave. And now you steal a pair of socks in California, and you're doing life for a pair of socks that was worth $1. When meanwhile, it was the CIA that brought that coke in. Meanwhile, it was George Bush Sr. and the CIA that flooded the ghetto with drugs. It was Oliver North. That's who it was. I think Oliver North is still alive. Ronald Reagan died of old age. George Bush Sr. died of old age. But how many of our people gotta die? You know what's crazy? You know the last person to be executed in California? Tookie Williams. They made sure they murdered Tookie. But you know what? Guess who's still alive right now? Charles Manson. And Charles Manson ordered the murder of pregnant women. You understand? Ordered the massacre of a pregnant woman and her husband. Had his people come and stabbed him to death. Carved a swastika into his forehead. He didn't get the death penalty. And you know who made sure Tookie Williams died? Arnold Schwarzenegger. While he was governor. But y'all love that Terminator, don't you? Yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, but Tookie Williams won't. Tookie Williams dead. While meanwhile, he was reforming the ghetto. He wasn't doing what Snoop was doing. You know what Snoop Dogg did? Snoop Dogg sold his ass to go dance on stage, while meanwhile, Colin Kaepernick still don't got a job for standing up for black and Hispanics. Still don't have a job. But Snoop Dogg, he crip-walked on the stage of the Super Bowl. Damn, don't we love him? And you know what was happening while Snoop was crip-walking? The rolling 60 Crips were at war, murdering black and Hispanics. He didn't want to come out there and stop that though. Right? Because our people are nothing but a check. That's all they want. They sell their ass for a couple $. And then we see it, and then we forget all that Colin Kaepernick ain't working. Jay-Z worked for the NFL though. And he organized all that. But Colin Kaepernick still don't work. And I mean, I don't feel bad for Colin Kaepernick, and you know why? I mean, he a millionaire. We still in the ghetto. We still dying. What you saying, Mr. White Man? You want to interrupt free speech in Boston at the birth of freedom of speech? Put the camera on that devil. Let me show you something. This is the proof that the white man is the devil right here. Because we have a right to free protest. Because we have a right to freedom of speech. You have beef with me, is who you beef with. I'll tell you who you beef with. You beef with George Washington. Don't beef with John Hancock. That's who you beef with. Don't beef with them. Y'all forgot where we're at? Do y'all know where the Constitution was created? I'm going to use my rights because we still ain't got liberty. You know what liberty is? Testament for the Christians. Yeah. Let me get y'all attention real quick. The Boston Celtics lost.
They're lost.
The Warriors won. I got your attention now? Beautiful. Jesus Christ is a black man.
Right.
The white man is the devil.
Right.
And if the government was behind 9/11, they're still the devil.
Right.
Read what you got.
Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Hear this good. Listen up. Read.
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity. You know what captivity is? Slavery. He who leadeth into captivity. Go ahead.
Shall go into captivity.
Well, let me hear something real quick. If this is the New Testament.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you are a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, sold packs. I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good ship. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword. With